Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I decided, let's do something different instead of doing vlogs and first times and all that craziness. I decided, let's read a chapter in a book that I like. And then maybe we'll do like a summary and stuff, like dive deep into the chapter I will be reading. So now let's get started. Sorry. Here. A Whole New World is a Twisted Tale by Liz Braswell. I did get this probably maybe like in March. So yeah. It's pretty much what if Aladdin had never found the lamp, but actually he does find it, but we'll get deeper into that. Let's start. Prologue. A high white moon cast its light on the city below as brightly as the sun was said to shine in the northern countries. White mud brick buildings gleamed like pebbles from a far beach. The golden onion dome to the capital glittered like a dream against the pale dunes. The dark, starry voids. The heat of the day had long since retreated into the desert, and the city, which drowsed through the hot afternoon, it was finally coming alive. The streets filled with people drinking tea and gossiping, laughing and visiting friends. Old men playing chaturang on boards set up outside cafes. Children stayed up long past their bedtimes, playing their own games on the sidewalks. Men and women bought rose-flavored ice and trinkets from nighttime vendors. Life was noisy and abundant. Moonlight Aberba. Could be saying it wrong. Ooh. Well, not everywhere in Aberba. Let me say this so wrong, but anywho's. Another part of town, the streets were silent as shadow and black as death. It was not safe for any of the gaily dressed people to be there. Even the locals tend to stay indoors or stick into the unseen alleyways and secret passages that ridden the area out of views from the street. Here the white walls of buildings were faded and pitted, mud peeling away from their bricks under layers in the great swath. Half-built timber structures were only the evidence of an ancient sultan's dream to improve the district, to widen the roads, to bring in water. After he was poisoned, the whole project was dropped. Now the skeletal remains of his grand plan whistled into the desert, like the corpse hanging from giblets. This was the quarter of the street rats. This is where thieves, beggars, murderers, and the poorest of the poor lived. Children no one wanted, the adults no one would hire for any kind of honest work, and all of them made their homes there. The orphaned, the unlucky, the sick, the discard. It was a whole other Abergod. Among the huts and hovels, the falling down public buildings, and the decaying houses of worship was one tiny home that was slightly better kept up than others. Its mud walls looked like they had been whitewashed at least once in the past decade. A broken on outside the door contained a clutch of desert blooms, kept alive by some regular application of precious water, a proper rug, an albed in tatters, laid in front of visitors to leave their sandals on. In the unlikely event they own a pair. Through a keyholed window, passers could hear the soft sounds of a woman humming. If they peeked through the wooden screens, they would see her, a kind-eyed woman who wore her rags with the grace of a queen. Her clothes were clean as the pair of pants she carefully mended, and the spotted shaft of the moonlight came through the window. A loud knocking sound on her door. 3 strikes, and very powerful. No one in the street rat district knocked like that. Always it was further, and often and cold. The lady looked surprised, but carefully set down her work and adjusted her headscarf before approaching the door. "Who is it?" she called, fingers on the handle. "It's me, Mom," said a voice. The woman smiled with pleasure and unhooked the latch. "But Aladdin," she admonished, laughing, opening the door, "you know better than to." She stopped when she realized 4 people were standing in the doorway. One was her son, Aladdin. He was scrawny, like the children of the street rat, barefoot with dark skin, thick raven black hair like his father, which was covered in dust of the street. He held himself as his mother had taught him, held head high, chest up, street rat in name only. His friend, if she could use that word, stood to the side, giggling and looking ready to bolt. And there was trouble. Of course, Morgana and Dubin would be involved. Aladdin's mother clenched her teeth as their side eyes obvious zeal to get away. But Aladdin stood tall, skinny man in a long blue robe and matching turban. Akram, the dried fruit nut seller, he had her son's shoulder in a bony grip, threatening to tighten it. The boy so much as thought about escaping. "Your son," Akram said politely but angrily, and his compatriots once again. We're at the market, stealing. "Empty your pockets, street rat." Aladdin shrugged endearingly as he did. He pulled the insides of his pockets out, revealing dry figs and dates. He was not careless as to let them fall on the floor, however. "Aladdin," his mother said sharply, "you wicked boy. I'm sorry, good sir. Tomorrow Aladdin will run errands for you all day. Whatever you want. He will fetch you water." Aladdin started to protest, but his mother looked at him but a look from his mother silenced him. Durbin and Morgana laughed at him. "And you two should as well," she added. "You're not my mother," Morgana said insolently. "You can't tell me what to do." "No, I can't." "Unfortunately, you don't have a mother like this poor woman," Akram said sternly. "You will wind up with your head on a spike before you're 16, girl." Morgana stuck her tongue out. "Come on," Durbin said a little nervously. "Let's get out of here." The two scampered off into the night. Aladdin looked after them dolefully, abandoned by his friends to punishments they all deserved. "You will do well to avoid their company, I think," Akram said thoughtfully. "But all 3 of you are lucky it was I who caught you, and not another. There are some vendors who demand your hand in payment for the fruit you stole. Here, let me wrap your goods to take back with you," Aladdin's mother said, taking the fruit from her son and looking around for a suitable cloth to hold him. "That's all right," Akram said uncomfortably. His eyes darted around the tiny, dark hovel. I already packed up for the day. A hard-working woman who is so alone wouldn't be punished for the sins of another. Consider it a gift." Aladdin's mother's eyes flashed. I don't need your charity. My husband will return any day now. Caston will make his fortune and will take us to a place more fitting for his family. I'm just ashamed of what he has to come back to in the meantime. Of course, Akram said soothingly. I eagerly await seeing him again. He loves my cashews. I'll have his mother bask in the glow of someone else's memories of her husband, as second-hand as it was. Aladdin slumped. Akram's hand returned to his shoulder, but instead of a hard pinch of an angry capture, it gave the nervous pat of someone who felt sorry for the boy. This only made Aladdin feel worse. Here, now, is everything all right? A market guard, one of the younger ones, strolled out of the night, held a crutch in his hand and had a serious look in his eye. I heard there was a disturbance at your tent, Akram. It's nothing, Raoul, the merchant said just as soothingly as he talked to Aladdin's mother. A misunderstanding. It's all sorted now. Thank you for your concern. The guard who only sins seemed to be indulging in too much pastry did not pass the matter as other guards might have. He saw the quietly determined woman and the dejected-looking Aladdin, the poverty of the house. Alrighty then, Akram. I will walk you back to your tent. This is not a safe place for respectable people like yourself to be at night. 1,000 thank you, Raoul. Akram gave Aladdin's mother a bow. And peace be upon you, and to you, she said, nodding her head. And thank you. When the merchant and the guard left, she closed the door wearily and ran a hand through her son's hair. Aladdin, what would we do with you? What? He demanded, no longer slumped but grinning like a thief and jumping up and down with excitement. Everything worked out, and look, we have a feast tonight. He excitedly pulled more fig and date out of his pocket and put them in a chipped bowl, and then from the stash held up his pants, pulled fresh almonds and smoked pistachios from somewhere under his scalp of a shirt of cashew. Aladdin! His mother admonished him. She was trying not to chuckle. I did it for you, Mom. You deserve a treat. You never get anything for yourself. Oh, Aladdin, I don't need anything except for you, she said, taking him in his arms and holding him tightly against her. Mom, Aladdin whispered into the robe, I've seen you give me the biggest part of whatever we eat. It's not fair. I just want to take care of you. There are a lot of things that aren't fair, Aladdin. She drew back from still holding his hand and looked into his eyes. That's just the way life is. Which is why it's important for street rats to take care of each other. That's a good instinct you have. You should always look out for your friends and your family, but no one is looking out for us. That doesn't mean you should become a thief. Aladdin looked at the ground, chagrin. She put her hand under his chin to make him look up at her. Don't let life's unfairness, don't let how poor you are decide who you are. You choose who you will be, Aladdin. Will you be a hero who looks after the weak and powerless? Will you be a thief? Will you be a beggar? Or worse, it's up to you, not the things or people around you. You can choose to be something more. He nodded, lip trembling. He was too old to cry. He was. His mother kissed him again and sighed, then moved past him to examine the fruit. Maybe it's because you're just alone here with your mother all the time, she said partly to herself. You don't have any playmates except for those good-for-nothings, Dub and Morgana. You need a real friend, or maybe a pet or something. Yes, a pet. But Aladdin wasn't listening. He moved to the window and pushed aside the screen. This was the best the only good thing about their house. Due to the trick in the zigzag streets, a hole in the mind of an architect, they had a perfect view of the castle. He looked at the white towers, even whiter under the moonlight, the glittering onion domes, the colorful flags flying from the spires, so pointy and perfect that they look like they can pierce the skies itself. You can choose to be something more. Well, that was the end of the first chapter. As you see, it's pretty much just my nose, a setup for the story. And if most of you are like huge Disney fans, as I am, know that actually in Aladdin, the animated version, there was gonna be a part. They actually were gonna have like Aladdin's mother actually in it, but she got cut and everything. So in this book, it's kind of like setting up how Aladdin will become more of like just stealing things to accommodate his needs, not anything else, just to be able to feed himself and his pet. And besides that, let me know if you like this, if you want me to do this again, do it with a different book, or continue with this book, or you're just like, don't do this ever again. And also like this video, subscribe to my channel, and also I hope you guys are having a nice day, afternoon, or evening. And until then, bye guys.